My name is Henry Marshall, founder of Silvertip Digital, and I'm going to talk about how to match your marketing with your growth targets. So how much do you need to spend in marketing in order to grow? It depends on what your growth target is and whether you're looking at purely revenue or the number of customers that you need to acquire in order to hit that requisite revenue. Also, consider what your level of profitability is, because as they say, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. So you want to make sure that you can grow sustainably. What's also really important is understanding that when you put £100, for example, in, what metrics happen, what are the different indicators that happen that deliver your profit at the end of the funnel. So we're going to look through a couple of examples of how different metrics perform in different ways to deliver different levels of profit, which will help you to kind of understand what's happening within your campaigns so that you can drive a better level of profit. So we're taking that top example of break even where you put in £100, and due to all of these different metrics, you end up with a profit of £100. And because you're operating at a 50% margin in this example, your return on ad spend is 2. So in the second example, we've just made the conversion rate a bit stronger, and you can see that for the same number of clicks, you're delivering more sales, which delivers more profit at the end. Also, in the third example, we're looking at a slightly cheaper cost per click, which means you can drive more clicks for the same budget. And this in turn also has an impact, as you can see, on the amount of profit that your campaigns can deliver. And ideally, you would find some kind of sweet spot in terms of the cost per click being fairly competitive and your conversion rate being fairly strong to deliver more profit with which you can reinvest in future campaigns. Now, that's fine, looking at different metrics across these different examples, but how can you use those in a real life example? It's looking at them between your different paid channels and the campaigns that you're running within each of those channels as well. So in this example, as you can see, we've got different levels of spend across Google Ads, Facebook ads, and Twitter ads. And as you can see, they deliver different levels of profit. These metrics give you an idea of where you should be putting your budget. So in this example, a return on ad spend on Twitter looks better than the other ones, so therefore potentially we should be investing more money there. Makes sense based on this example. But the other thing to consider is how much headroom is in each of these platforms, so that if you put more money in, you would actually continue to see the same level of profit out the other side. So when we look at scaling your marketing, we look at platform-specific metrics to determine how much opportunity there is. So within Google Ads, we can see impression share. And in this example, we're looking at an impression of 25%, which means that with your budget, you are purchasing a quarter of the total available impressions that the keywords that you're bidding on allows. So with an impression share of 25%, there is a potential uplift of 4 times. With Facebook ads and Twitter ads, the metric that we look at is frequency, which is the number of times a single user views the same ad. And if you see the same ad time and time again, then you start to reach a point where your audience is saturated and the performance starts to drop away. So we would recommend not having a frequency of more than 4. What that means in this example with Facebook ads is there's a 2 times potential because your frequency is 2, and a 2.6 times potential in Twitter due to a frequency of 1.5. So you add all of that together and your potential upside of revenue is just over £3,000. So other scaling tips to take a note of. So diversify your channels across different platforms, because it means that you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket. So if one channel starts to perform worse than the others, you can put more budget into other channels that do perform better, and therefore you're not left at having to try and pivot really quickly based on poor performance. Don't just rely on your paid channels, so look at owned and earned like email, direct, SEO, those sorts of things, because they will tend to drive a better quality of customer at a fraction of the cost. Understand the difference between running campaigns at the top of the funnel versus the bottom of the funnel. So with PPC brand, for example, your return on ad spend will look amazing, but you won't reach any new customers. Continually test different creative, because then you can determine what messages are working at different stages in the funnel and to different customers. And also, if your campaigns don't work at first, look at those metrics, because they will give you a clue as to where you need to change things in order to drive better performance. So in summary, understand your targets, be clear on your objectives, and understand how your campaign metrics contribute to your growth.